Hey everyone, so my name is SUBI WAHOGO. I'm running for Women's Officer in the SU elections. I know that a lot of people mostly tend to just care about the big three positions, so like the President, the Vice President Academic Experience and Vice President of Student Experience. So I'm making this video to remind you why Women's Officer is such an important position and why you should vote for me. So we need a women's officer because women are still discriminated against and oppressed in society, and university is like a microcosm of the outside world. We do still experience all of these awful things, and I think a lot of people argue that women have equality now, but there's proved time and time again that it's still not the case. There's obvious things like the wage gap and less visible things like sexual harassment and, kind of subtle sexism. But women's issues, remain something that have to be dealt with as well as general student issues. I want to make the role of women's officer a big one, a big role. I want to make it a big deal, and one that can make really powerful changes. If I'm elected, I will be willing and able to fight big fights for you. A women's officer should work for the students. You would be able to come to me if you're experiencing any gender-based discrimination, if you've been harassed or assaulted or abused, if you're having issues to do with pregnancy or maternity or childcare. And I will be able to signpost you to appropriate services and support you in the best way that I can. I've already heard, my fair share of horror stories about students not being supported through issues like the ones I've just spoken about, and I promise to fight to ensure that staff are properly trained in dealing with such sensitive issues and that there is proper support, like a proper solid support network for students in Brooks. We shouldn't have to go through difficult things alone, and sometimes we do because we're scared that if we ask someone for help, they'll do nothing or they'll make it worse. And for some of us that has been the case, and all I can say there is that I'm really sorry that you've had to go through these things. If I am voted as Women's Officer, I will do my best to change this. I will fight for women's specific welfare needs, as well as running broader campaigns on issues like consent culture and contraception, like access and advice, and sexism and misogyny on campus. And I am a fighter. I don't back down when something is important, so you can trust me to fight for you. In the wise words of Rosie the Riveter, we can do it. Ballot boxes will be on campus from the 11th to the 14th of March. Vote for SUBI WAHOGO as your Women's Officer and reclaim OBSU.